Carol Ravina is a teacher in the Utica School District, was recently in Kansas City on a program where she was grading tests. Carol, good morning. Thanks for coming on.
Hi.
So tell us why you were in Kansas City. What program were you working under?
Well, I was invited by the College Board to help grade AP biology tests.
Oh, okay.
And we graded 244,688 tests from all over the world.
Wow. Oh, boy, that's a lot of tests.
Yes,
And so they need a lot of teachers. How many teachers were there were actually grading?
Well, I'm figuring around 2,000 because there were 4 different exams being tested. We had about 700.
Wow.
I think English had 1,000. There was like 400 support staff. There was statistics and another computer science.
Okay.
So there were about 2,000 people in the building.
So while you were there, a shooting broke out, right?
Mm-hmm.
Explain, sir, it had to be very scary, but explain what you went through.
So it was right at 5 o'clock when they were ready to dismiss us.
And this would have been a couple of weeks ago?
Yeah, it was 2 weeks ago.
Okay.
So right at 5 o'clock, they would usually give us an announcement of what activities were going on in the evening. And the chief reader came on and just said, there's an active shooter outside the convention center. Please proceed to the basement and try to avoid any windows.
Mm. Wow. So I'm assuming that's what you guys did.
Yeah, but you're in a building that you have no idea. You just were like a lemming following somebody. Hopefully they knew how to get to the basement.
Wow. Because
you really weren't familiar with your surroundings.
Well, think about how many times we've all been in a hotel. If you're ever told to go to the basement, you'd know to go down, but that's about all you'd know, right? How would you get to the basement?
Yeah, it was, and to avoid windows.
Right, too. Right. That had to be pretty scary. So what ended up, you guys got to the basement?
We got to the basement, and what was scary is there was 2 entrances, and we basically were in a concrete area that if somebody came in, there was no escape. What was scarier is that about half the people had never practiced this.
Wow.
Now, being at Proctor, Chris Salatino and the police had orchestrated an active shooter drill where we did a shelter in place, and they came and rescued us. So I knew what to do. But I would say about 50% of the people said that they had never practiced anything like that.
Where were the teachers from?
All over the world.
Yeah.
They were from the Philippines, Florida, California, everywhere. It was a mix of high school and college professors.
Wow. And you feel that the training that you received at Proctor is something that assisted you?
Yeah, because I was pretty calm, actually. I went and just stood against the far wall, out of the line of sight, as we were taught. And then there was about 30 minutes we were down there, and then we found that there was a tunnel back to our hotel, which was about 2 blocks away. So they let those of us who were at that hotel travel through the tunnel because we were underground.
Now, the shooting that actually went on was the real deal, right?
Yes.
It was a bizarre story too.
Yeah.
Do you know the background on the story? 2 guys fighting over a golf cart, and then one guy pulled a gun. Is what I've read.
Yep. That's what we were told.
So this wasn't a terrorist attack. This was just an active shooter situation, and I think people died in this case, right?
Yes, they killed the 2 people involved.
Oh, both of them were. Boy, that's just crazy. Listen, golf just ain't worth it, right? Hello.
Well, the scary thing is when we came up from the tunnel into the lobby, there was the street, where 2 cars could pass, and right across the street was a yellow tarp covering the bodies.
Wow. Wow. So, we talk about these things that we do in our schools here. And, sometimes we don't take them seriously. But you really feel when placed in that position, whether it's a fire drill or an active shooter drill or whatever you're trained with, you feel that by having some sort of training that really is helpful for you and certainly helped you in this situation.
Definitely.
Yeah. All right. Well, you never know when one of these things can break out.
And thank God you're all right.
Yeah. Pretty crazy. All right. Well, I appreciate you telling your story, Carol. That's amazing. It's not often we're hearing the stories, and there are so many of them out of Proctor and out of Utica that are great stories out of the school district. And this is one of those where the district is actually seems to be ahead of the game, certainly when it compares to other schools and other teachers around the country and around the world.
And can I say one other thing about Proctor?
Yeah.
Is the diversity in Proctor and the acceptance of the students, I would not teach anywhere else because there is no outcast, because there is so much diversity. You can always find a group of people. And they are accepting of kids in wheelchairs. They'll give them the high five as they pass them in the hall, different areas of dress. And it's a very, very accepting school.
Pretty amazing, and that's got to be a great experience for the students. They receive a completely different experience than somebody maybe in more of a rural district where you don't have that diversity.
Exactly.
Yeah. All right, Carol. Thanks, and we're glad you're okay.
Thank you very much.
All right. Thanks for taking the time, Carol Ravina, a teacher over at Proctor. That's a story nobody heard about. We kind of heard the story out of Kansas City, if you really follow the news, but to think that there were actually people there from here, we never knew that. Pretty wild.